How's it going? So, yeah, I didn't put a video up of the garage sales last week because I kind of forgot. I got a few things. It wasn't a great weekend of scores. I got some Pyrex and things like that. And, a few little pieces here and there, but nothing really, really big. This weekend, the one that just passed on Saturday, kind of made up for it. I I had one of those moments where you're trying to figure out which garage sale to hit first, and for some reason I picked the right one this week, and I was the first person in there, and so I drove out, and as I was walking there up the driveway, the lady who was running it said, "Jay, you're the record guy," and I said, "I do collect records, yes, and I buy and sell them," and she said, "I know," she said, about probably 8, 9 years ago, I had a garage sale and you bought a bunch of records off me. And she said, I still haven't found the one you're looking for. And the fact that she remembered my name over 9 years blew me away. And then the fact that she remembered that what it was I bought a Beastie Boys Ill Communication offer and it didn't have the record in it. And she remembered that too and said she wasn't able to find it even after all these years. But anyways, so she said that, yeah, she was clearing out her garage because she wanted to be able to park her car in it. And I got there and it was mostly tools and things, which I pick up the occasional thing for my own personal use for refinishing projects and things like that, but I don't buy and sell tools. But she did say to me, she's like, do you still have the vintage retro store uptown? And I said, yes, I do. She said, well, I've got some stuff. And she's like, maybe if I get a chance, I can bring them out. And she said, are you interested in concert shirts or old band shirts? And I'm like, yes, I am. So, yeah, in the end, she went down, she said, what about the old Bee Gees and bands like that? I'm like, sure, why not? And, so she went down and she came back out with a box full. And she said, I can't find the Bee Gees one. And she's like, I know there are others somewhere. They were my husband's. And she's like, I didn't want to just donate them. So she's like, I kept them around. But she said, she's like, I know there were something. I'm not selling them for garage sale prices. And I'm like, that's fine. We can, you tell me what you want for them and we'll figure it out. So anyways, I start going through and this is what I ended up with. And the funny thing about this shirt in particular is I already have one of these. It's from the 1996 Styx Paradise theater tour, but I didn't notice this when I was buying it, but it is actually signed by the band, which is pretty funny that I didn't notice it. It is, again, it's 96 single stitch on both, I believe. Yep. And what's the tag on there? It's made in the USA. Not familiar with, oh, it's Winterland. Yeah, okay. So yeah, that's kind of a nice, good pickup, having an autograph shirt like that. The next one I came across in the box was this one here. Now, this one isn't that old. In the past, I wouldn't have considered a shirt from 2000 vintage, but then I forget that 2000 was 22 years ago. And that, yeah, now they do consider some of the early 2000s vintage. For me, vintage is like the 90s or earlier. But this was worth getting anyways. It's the Torture 2000 tour. It isn't single stitch, obviously. It's double because it is from the 2000s. It is a made in the USA tag on there, though. And I think it's probably a rare shirt because I did look up on eBay and there's only one other up there. Usually at least there's one or two up there, but this one, I think it's in nice shape. Good size too. I think it's a double XL. And there were a lot of baseball ones, but I'll go through the just the band ones first. This is a cool raglan. It's a lot smaller. It's a medium, but for those of you who do collect vintage, you know that the medians from sort of pre-1990s are closer to small. And this is from the 1982 tour. North American Tour. Pretty great graphics. Single stitch at the bottom. It's kind of got a ringer collar on the sleeve and at the collar itself. Let's see, what's the tag? Can't read that, but that's it there. 50/50. So another great one. This is an early one too. It's an earlier Styx one, Paradise Theater, the original World Tour in 1981. This one isn't signed, but again, kind of that ringer T collar there, single stitch along the bottom. What's the tag? Now, oh yeah, it's a Canadian one. I think Sonatax, and I've come across them, Sonorex or Sonatax. I've come across that tag in a lot of Canadian tour shirts. So let's see what's on the back. Shot of the band. That's a lot of good hair and some pretty great mustaches. Look at those. Those are, yeah, that's great. And then probably one of the ones that might be more valuable than the rest is this Rolling Stones Voodoo Lounge sort of tie-dye shirt. Same image on the front and back. Single stitch sleeve and bottom. It's on the Brockham XL, made in the USA. That's a pretty nice shirt. And then the sports ones. Now, keeping in mind that I am located in Ontario and I'm a huge Blue Jays fan, so some of these are probably going to end up in mine. This is for when we won the World Series. All right, yeah, was 93 the first or was 92? Man, that's terrible. I can't remember. But yeah, it's from the 93 World Series. It's got the Major League copyright on there, single stitch bottom, single stitch arm cuff, sleeve cuff, and I believe it's probably going to be a Made in Canada tag on there. Yeah, Made in Canada tag, extra large, cool graphics on the front. I think it's still, yeah, it's single-sided. Then this one's a little earlier. I think this one is 1991. Kind of more of an all-over print. It's a great graphic. Like, it is one of the coolest baseball shirts I've seen in a while. There is the 1991. Thing is, you can't identify who that player is. I want to say John Olerud, but who knows? And it's a Bullet Athletic tag on there, made in Canada. Let's see, how's that for some terrible camera work again? And yeah, great print with the American League symbol on there. Just a great shirt overall. I love that shirt. And then the one actually I like a lot. This was Roberto Alomar. Blue Jay shirt. I've never seen this shirt before. I don't even remember this shirt when, you know, I was sort of a kid. Well, I wasn't a kid in the 90s, but compared to now I am. This is 1994. The neat thing is that this is kind of an embossed baseball glove, and it feels a little bit like leather, which is really cool in there. I don't know if you can sort of see that or not. But kind of an unusual shirt. I've never seen this before, specifically for Roberto Alomar when he was with the Jays. Single stitch on the collar. I think it was, yeah, 94 on there. There it is. And single stitch collar, a little bit of a slight split there. What's the tag? Waves again. They must have had the contract for a lot of the stuff in the 90s. So that's cool. Another one of these amazing, I'll move this out of the way, kind of all over prints. Excuse the bad camera work. I don't know why. I think I can pull this off with one hand. This is 1992. Yeah, so there you go. Answered my own question. 1992 was when we won the World Series the first time, and then we won it in 93. Fingers crossed, you know, this year we're in the wild card hunt, so you never know what happens in the playoffs. So, but yeah, great graphic all over again. I wish they put a number on that player. Kind of looks like Johnny O, but you know, I might be wrong on that. Great graphics on the side with the World Series there. Single stitch on all the collars. The cuff, bottoms, and arm. Bullet and Athletic, made in Canada. And then it's got Catch the Fever on the arm. Switch it over to here. There's the World Series Championship. That's awesome. That's a great shirt. Yeah, some of these might be keepers for a little while anyways with me. I just love them. And then the last shirt out of that group was this one, which is a bit of a heartbreak for any Leafs fan, because, I mean, if you're a Leafs fan, you're used to heartbreak at this point, especially lately. Good God, they can't even get out of the first round of the playoffs. But this was when Wayne Gretzky broke Toronto's and most, you know, a lot of Canadians' hearts when he went to the Kings and they were in the Campbell Conference Finals against the Leafs, and it would have been the first time that the Leafs had made it into the playoffs long into the playoffs in a long time. So yeah, in the end, Gretzky's team won and eliminated the Leafs from going through. But that's pretty cool graphic on there. Again, 93 single stitch. Just a great bunch of shirts. I mean, I haven't had a big haul of shirts. I think there were 11 or 12 in total in a while. And the thing is, she said she thinks she has more. She knows there was a BG shirt. She just didn't know where it was. And she was going to either drop them by the store or just give me a call. The other thing she said is, like, how about like lava lamps? Because what I did, well, I'll show you, I bought some lamps off her, and she said, what about like lava lamps? Now I have a window full of about 6 lava lamps. They're all vintage, like 1970s and earlier. I collect them. Those aren't for sale, the ones in the window, much to everyone's frustration. But she brought up this beauty. It is orange, not just because of the couch it's on, but it is orange wax on there and orange liquid. So I don't have one that's in orange, so it's amazing. And this is the first time I've actually, I'm sure it's on others, I just never noticed it, but it's the Lava Light, Des Plaines, Illinois. And I fired it up. It works fantastic. The cord's a little bit yellowed, but that's just from time. Honestly, you just usually, if you a little bit of gentle soap and water, don't submerge it, obviously it's electricity, but on a cloth, dampen a cloth, and you can clean that right up. Don't go near the switches or anything like that. Actually, just don't take advice from me on electrical stuff at all, because I am in no way a certified electrician. But yeah, there is ways to clean that up. So the other thing that she brought out to see if I was interested in were these little guys. Now, these are early. These are pre-war, I think. They're painted bulbs, light bulbs, and they're done in sort of like a Japanese lantern style, and people use them as Christmas tree lights. You know, right after basically the use of candles in your Christmas tree was sort of realized that was super dangerous. They switched over to electrical lights, and these were the bulbs that went in. You know, around the same time that you had sort of those little bubbler ones and things like that. But these are really nice shape. Like the paint isn't chipping, nothing really on those. Those are all really good. And I honestly haven't come across any before, so I just bought them just because they were neat. Unfortunately, I don't have a lamp with the right size socket to test it to see if they're working. But from what I can see online, it doesn't matter. People buy them working or not. If it's working, it probably helps them a little bit, but if not, it's not a big deal. So yeah, great garage sale. She says she's got lots more stuff in the basement. So hopefully she follows up and gives me a call. So, oh, here's the other things I got there too. I should probably go into those. These are the first things I see. Now, I don't think you can get how brilliant that color is on camera. It's a very, very super rich, almost jewel-like, emerald-like green on there. And it really is outstanding. They need a good cleaning, but those are nice Chalkware lamps. A few chips here and there, but nothing terrible. And the original shades. I always take the original shades, no matter how bashed up they are, because if somebody either A, wants to try to clean them or repair them, they're there. It's you know, optional for them. If they want to get a brand new shade, they can take this one to the store with them to get the sort of size that works appropriately with the lamp. And the other thing about it is you have the original hoop and metal parts in there, which if someone wants to create a brand new shade using the old metal frame, they can. There are companies that you can send your frames away and they will do this for you, and they will make vintage style shades for your lamps too, which is kind of great, because without it, it's a lot of guesswork. So I always try and pick up the shades when I can, just because it's super helpful. And if the person doesn't want them, they can ditch them. It's up to them entirely. So yeah, I picked those two guys up. And then this thing, again, for people who are into vintage goods in general, it's kind of a lifestyle choice. And so, you know, here's an extra thing. If you're looking for a vintage patio cushion for your vintage patio chair, here is one in the bag. I mean, it is, you can't get much better than that. I don't think it's ever been taken out of the bag. I had one other of these a while back that I picked up at the thrift store, so it's kind of cool. The other one was just for a regular seat, and this is for a full lounger recliner. So that's another amazing thing. The rest, oh yeah, there were some Arrow shirts here that I picked up. She had these on the table too. Normally I don't bother, but these are brand new in the bag. The bags are a little dirty, but they've never been opened. 1970s collars. So it's kind of cool to find stuff like this. Look at that old Kmart brand on there. Probably not worth a ton of money, but oh, look at that, $16 suggested retail price. So these are made in Canada, and so that kind of tells you they have age. One, I think, says made in Korea, but same kind of thing. When they were making the switch over into manufacturing outside of North America, Korea was one of the big spots initially. You know, Hong Kong for toys and things like that, and Korea was for a lot of toys and musical instruments, and also shirts as well. So yeah, that was it. That's everything from that garage sale, right? Yeah, okay. So some other things I got this week. At a small local thrift store, I picked up this really great articulated vintage lamp. Kind of looks like brown Bakelite on there. Spun aluminum lamp head, I guess you'd call it. But it's great because you can adjust these to sort of any kind of angle that you want. So it's pretty versatile too. It's in nice shape. Obviously it needs a bit of a cleaning, but nothing crazy about it. Cool little switch on there too. So that was a cool pickup. I don't remember, I believe I picked these up at a garage sale. And I don't exactly remember where, but I remember seeing this. So Dominion was a company. I love the fact it says disco on there. And I know Dominion from Dominion skateboarding company. And when I was a kid, the first skateboard that I could afford was a Dominion Street one. So this is probably the same company, but much, much earlier than the 1980s. These are probably with the disco era on there. I'm going to say probably 1970s roller skates. They're in fantastic shape, good size. I just love the wheels. So I had to pick those up. What else? Oh, from another local thrift is this nice little kind of Susan Thorpe style just roly-poly glasses, a set of them with a matching ice bucket. You don't see the ice bucket too much. I have seen similar sets that have sort of that round circular stand that these go on. So yeah, again, had to pick that. I don't think it was more than $5 for that whole thing, so that was worth it. Another pickup at a thrift store. This one blew me away. I just bought it because actually I love Carmen Gia's. I don't know much about modern model kits. And this one probably, I don't think it's that old, to tell you the truth. But it's everything inside it is, let's see if I can get this off here, still bagged, hasn't been put together, it's never been used. I would say this is probably from the 2000s, sometime in the 2000s, the kit. I'm sure I should have probably looked it up. But what I have learned since then is basically if you ever see any models by this company, Tamiya, they're a Japanese company that makes really high quality model kits. This thing has sold comps on eBay in like the $75 to $100 range in this condition. And if you look at some of the other Tamiya models, they did a lot of Formula One cars, a lot of military stuff. Just again, if you've seen them at a garage sale and they're under $10, just pick them up because it's worth it. Clearly, especially if you're thinking about reselling this. Now, I was going to keep this one for myself, but now it's worth that much that, you know what, and somebody clearly who's into models deserves this more than I do. It was just going to be a shelf sitter for me. Maybe put, I think I've got a dinky carve, a Carmen Gia that I was going to put in front of it. You know, as kind of my shrine in hopes that the voodoo brings me a real one someday, but that probably isn't going to happen anytime soon. So yeah, that one will probably end up on eBay. And I did go to the Value Village and actually got a few things. Here's a little Starcom bat, and it's missing some parts off it, but the spring mechanism still works, which is totally rad. It's got some guns are missing and things like that. I actually have the little guys that go in here. I've got one of those kicking around somewhere as well. What else? Oh yeah, and you can see the price, $6.99. You know, I mean, there's still money to be made on there. Not a ton in that condition, but still some. This I just bought for myself. It is a Ghostbuster, well, projector basically. You pull the thing and it projects ghosts up onto the wall that are on this little wheel in here. Again, some terrible camera work. But it's from the real Ghostbusters series that they put out. Great. Again, another one for $7. But what else? Oh, yeah, there were two of them side by side. This one is called the Show Beam, and it is actually from Viewmaster. I can't remember the exact age on it, but I believe it was sometime in the 1990s. And that's the little cartridge in there. I don't think I'll be able to get it out because it is pretty well in there. No, I'm not going to be able to get it out. That's the Mickey cartridge in there. They made a whole bunch of them. The idea was you could, you know, press the button and it would show the cartridge on the whatever the show was on the wall. Oh boy, a bunch of cassettes. There's the Canadian version of the Laws. Yaz. No. Oh, Love and Rockets, Seventh Dream, one of the best albums of the 80s in my opinion, but people will probably argue with me. Jaw Wobbles. I think there's an REM one down there. And then in Jurassic Park, Dinosaur, one of the, I think probably one of the original series ones from the 90s, so I always pick those up when I can too. So that is it. Like I said, I missed out last week, but again, there wasn't tons of stuff. Some Pyrex Phrygies, which I picked up, and let's see, a few Wade liquor jugs and things like that. So, you know, it's still okay, but I just got really busy last week and didn't have a chance. But again, that pile right there and that little baby right there made up for it, more than made up for it. And hopefully, you know, there might be some more in the future. You never know. So I'm going to leave it at that. If you guys could like and subscribe, my subscription rate has been going up and I'm super happy with that. Thank you so much, you guys, for that. It's really cool to see that kind of support. My views, oddly enough, have been going down. So I've got to do, I think that's because of the last couple of weeks, my consistency hasn't been great about getting stuff up there and getting videos done. Or it could be just because my videos are crappy, but whatever. I'm having fun with it. And yeah, if you are too, if you could tell your friends, that'd be cool. They might want to subscribe and I would appreciate that. So I hope this week all you guys are able to find some pretty cool things. If you do, feel free to drop comments. Oh man, this is why I need to learn editing. Drop your comments into the comment section there. Tell me about your finds. I'd love to hear about them. I'm sure other people would too. All right. Hope you all have a good week. Bye.